can't come in here, ma'am. This is a private event." The doorman's cold voice cut through the evening air, drowning out the muffled jazz from the open doors of the upscale restaurant. All eyes turned to the short but sturdy woman with a close-cropped haircut and an old military beret in her hands. Her lips thinned into a tight line, but she didn't move. Beside her, in a wheelchair, sat her former comrade-in-arms, an old gray-bearded Marine who suddenly paled. A ripple of whispers went through the crowd gathered for the Veterans Charity Gala. Why was this woman, whose name was etched on memorial plaques, being denied entry to an event she had helped organize? Then, 4 figures in impeccably tailored evening suits, yet with an unmistakable military bearing, emerged from the shadow of a limousine. They were silent and unmoving. Their appearance made the doorman freeze. Because these weren't just wealthy guests, they were retired generals, former commanders from various branches of service, who had come specifically at her invitation. By the end of the night, the entire city would be talking about what happened next. But in that moment, no one knew, least of all the doorman, just how badly he had misjudged the woman he was trying to turn away. Or the brothers and sisters in arms who had her back. Captain Ellie Vance had spent 25 years serving her country. 2.5 decades of pain from combat wounds, sleepless nights in foxholes, and a constant fight for equality in a man's world. But today wasn't about her. It was about her soldiers, those who returned with invisible wounds and for whom she was trying to raise funds for rehabilitation. Ellie had arrived earlier than anyone else, her heart swelling with pride that she had managed to attract so many influential people. She ignored the hidden sneers, the condescending glances of patrons accustomed to seeing veterans only at parades. She was used to it. But when the doorman extended his hand, blocking her way, his quiet yet authoritative request was sharp, like a bayonet. Something inside her snapped. Not today. The doorman reached out to block her path. Ellie didn't raise her voice, didn't flinch, but her tone was as hard as armor. "Don't touch me. You'll regret it." A gasp went through the crowd. People froze. Then from behind, a voice, calm, but carrying the weight of command. "Young man, I'd advise you to step aside." 4 generals, Ellie's former commanders, were already moving forward, their faces stern, but with a glint of determination in their eyes. The doorman hesitated. He radioed for backup. The generals didn't blink. "This woman led operations you haven't even heard of," said the oldest general, his voice low but sharp as a blade. "Do you really want to do this?" A tense silence. Ellie's former comrade-in-arms, the old Marine, slowly struggled to his feet from his wheelchair, his eyes blazing. "She's my commanding officer. She earned the right to be here." The crowd stirred. Whispers spread. The doorman exchanged uneasy glances with his colleagues. Then came a voice no one expected. The owner of the restaurant chain, the gala's sponsor, striding down the aisle, his face dark with fury. "Stand down!" The doorman stiffened. The generals didn't move. The owner locked eyes with Ellie, then extended his hand. "Captain Vance, my deepest apologies. The evening won't begin without you. Your presence is an honor for us all." For a moment, silence hung in the air. Then applause erupted. But Ellie didn't take the owner's hand, because the damage was done. The humiliation, the assumption that her merits meant nothing because she was a woman. She looked at her hands, which once held a weapon, and now fought for justice, and felt the same pain as on the battlefield. For the first time in many years, Ellie wondered if the country for which she had bled truly saw her not just as a veteran, but as an equal human being. Then something unexpected happened. The old Marine, her former battle buddy, approached Ellie, gently took her hand, and kissed it. The crowd fell dead silent. Ellie's breath hitched. The generals stood taller. The owner slowly lowered his hand, understanding dawning. This wasn't just about access. This was about equality. When the evening began, Ellie stood in the center of the hall, surrounded by generals and former comrades. The doorman was nowhere in sight, and as she gave her speech about the invisible wounds of veterans, the four generals made sure everyone in that upscale restaurant knew who stood beside the true hero. Because some battles are fought not with weapons, but with recognition. And no one will diminish the dignity of a veteran. Not on their watch.